In New York, there is a strange hotel. There is room number 1408 that has never been rented. Since 1942, the hotel started to do business up to now. 56 people were dead in this room. Fall from high floors, drug abuse, hanging, suicide. No one knows what happened in the room. To stop more tragedies, the hotel owner has locked this room. But there's a writer who writes horror stories. He has been to many different haunted houses but never met a ghost. He doesn't believe there's ghosts. So when hearing about that room, he came there, asked to rent that room. The receptionist didn't agree and called for the hotel owner. He smiled and said, "We're gonna offer you the president room." The writer replied, "I only want room 1408. The manager invited him to the office to talk. Then he became more serious and advised not to stay in that room. The writer didn't agree. The manager took out a very thick notebook. The writer opened it. The first page, the first victim died in 1912, the first week after the hotel opened. Cut his neck in the tub. The writer continued, each page has a different tragic situation. The manager said no one could live there for more than an hour. The writer feels more excited. He ordered to stay there, even threatened to sue the hotel. The manager resigned himself to accept. He took the writer to the room. The writer asked, "The room is very dirty, isn't it? We clean it each week, not too careful. Normally 3 people go together no more than 10 minutes to open the room. But even if so, several years ago there was a female employee accidentally locked in the toilet. When she was saved, she lost her eyes." Level 14. The manager reminded the writer one last time, "Don't step in there." But the writer still did not believe, so he was left alone. He walked to the room 1408 while opening the notebook. Every photo is very scary. He absorbed himself in it. Suddenly, he realized. He went back to the elevator. Maybe there was some power in the dark that pushed him away from that room. He dropped the notebook, tried to walk to the room. Before coming in, he saw a mother talking to her child into the next room. It looked safe. Finally, he got to the room 1408, put the key into, twisted, opened the door, turned on the light. Everything in the room is normal. The man laughed faintly, closed the door, watched the room. Normal television, normal toilet paper, normal wine cabinet. Only the air conditioner is quite hot. There are stains on the ground and the picture on the wall is a bit strange. He opened the window. Everything outside is also normal. At that moment, the radio sounded by itself. That scared him to death. The man turned around. So weird. A grog covered his bed already. The man hesitated for a while. He thought someone was in, so he went to search, but found no one. And he discovered new toilet paper. He felt hotter. The air conditioner was out of order. He phoned the reception, told them to call for someone to fix. The reception agreed. The man was quite panicked. He turned off the light, holding the ultraviolet light, full of bloodstains in the room. Turning on the light, he discovered the picture on the wall was tilted. He just left and it was back neatly. Someone was knocking the door. That was the repairer. He opened the door, but the repairer didn't come in. He said let him show how to fix it. The writer followed the instructions to fix the air conditioner. Then he turned around. The repairer disappeared. He closed the door. He suddenly realized that he couldn't hear anything. He opened the window. No sound heard, for real. When he got back, the window was suddenly closed. He shouted loudly. His arm started to bleed. He got into the restroom, washed his hand under the water, and suddenly the water became hot. The man was so scared, rushed out, called the reception. He wanted to leave the room, but the reception ignored and recommended the hotel services to him. He scolded, but the opponent said the attitude was not good, then hung up. The man was really scared. The door couldn't be opened, even with a key. It seemed to become a wall. He looked through the cat eye to see outside. There's an eye on the other side. He scaredly backed down, ran to the hotel window, peeked his head out. "Help! Help!" Then he saw the light in the opposite room. Someone was sitting there. He called loudly. That guy seemed to see him. He slowly stood up. The man waved his hand for help again and again. He felt something wrong. That person was imitating him. He then realized not imitation. That's a copy. Then he picked up a light. That person also picked up too. That person was him. He's gonna be a dead man. Then even more terrifying things happened. The man turned his head. A person like that appeared behind him. But the guy just jumped a few times and then disappeared. The man rushed to the window, threw the light, but it disappeared on half the way. The man got very scared. He told himself this was just an illusion. More illusion appeared. Dead spirits in the hotel appeared, climbed out of the window and jumped 1 and 2. It was like reminding him what to do. The man didn't follow. He examined the structure of the hotel. The room next to room 1408 also has windows. He estimated a little, only 9 steps, to reach the room's next window. So, he carefully climbed out the steps. He told himself, only 18 steps. He didn't dare to look down, could only stick to the wall, and moved on the roof. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Strong wind was blowing on the 9th step. He couldn't still find the window. Suddenly, he saw no windows in front of him, only one long wall. He went back. It was hard to get back to room 1408. The window immediately closed. He got up and took a careful look at the hotel structure again. It changed. Only he was in the room. He looked through the cat eye. There's a wall outside, another wall outside the window. Room 1408 became an interior. Furthermore, the air conditioner temperature is dropping. Luckily, his laptop had internet connection. He urgently logged onto the software, made a video call with his ex-wife. They just talked when the room started to burst water. Water broke down the laptop. He lost his last hope. It's no use asking for help. He could only beg the God. A man who has no religion took the Bible out and read. But the Bible was completely white. Normally, he didn't believe in God. Now he thought of God when being in danger. It's too late. The room got colder and froze. It's below 0 degrees. He couldn't adjust the air conditioner. The man wore a blanket, drank wine, and turned on the heater. Suddenly, his laptop rang. He came to see that the video call with his ex-wife. He asked whether she could call the police or not. She said yes. The police are now at room 1408. They said there's no one inside. The man collapsed. He's in room 1408. He knew this room was very weird. He said he would die. His ex-wife heard it. She intended to go to the hotel and the man said no. Who knew? There's a copy from the laptop. Who told the woman to come to room 1408? Secretly got in. The man shouted. His ex-wife didn't hear him. The man looked at himself in the monitor. The guy smiled at him. Suddenly, the room collapsed. The picture moved. The crew cries resounded everywhere. There were also storms in the room. The man couldn't stand anymore. He picked up a wood, but water overflowed from the picture and immersed the room. The man gradually lost consciousness until he woke up. He was in the hospital. His wife was next to him. He was overjoyed. Could everything about 1408 be just a nightmare? He asked if his ex-wife had ever heard of the Dolphin Hotel. She said no. It seemed a nightmare, really. The man's life went back to the way it was. He let go of his daughter's death, tried to reunite with his ex, and wrote a book about his experience in 1408. He sent the book to the publisher, but in the post office he suddenly realized that the postman was the servant of the hotel. Then a strange thing happened. Post office equipment installers hold a hammer to break the wall that showed the wall inside. That's the room 1408. It turns out the man had never left the room. The room was turned into ruins. In the ruins, his dead daughter appeared. The man burst into crying. He held his daughter tightly not long after. The girl disappeared. His heart was broken. He could not accept his daughter's death before his eyes twice. He broke the furniture and scolded the room. After that, time is over. After 1 hour of struggling, the room got back to normal. The phone rang. The man picked up the phone. That's the hotel receptionist, who told him that 1 hour would restart. Repeat indefinitely. But you could also choose an express checkout. Next, the man saw a loop of rope. The hotel was advising him to suicide. The receptionist even said, "Your wife would be there in 5 minutes, just wait." The man got angry. Even if he died, he would make this room collapse. This is a man who spends his whole life avoiding responsibility. His daughter died, he escaped from reality. He left when his ex-wife was broken. He didn't visit his father at the rest home. He fired the room with alcohol and killed himself. At downstairs, all the staff heard the fire alarms and ran outside. The ex-wife just ran to see the fire at 1408. She was so nervous, but the man had determined. He smashed the windows with an ashtray. The room exploded. In this fight with room 1408, he didn't lose. There would be no more victim in this room. He was the last one. But 1408 seemed a spooky hotel room. Actually, it represents the devil inside the human. When humans face demons, someone will hide, someone will fight, but the loner will often be defeated. So please don't leave someone you love and someone who loves you. With them by your side, you will become stronger.